Hey everyone, welcome back to a crypto update here. I am a little blown away here because I've been sitting here working, researching, studying, and all of a sudden I just see crypto going off the charts here. And I'm trying to wrap my head around what potentially is going on here. And I think I have researched potential conclusion. So first of all, we know that at least 60 to 70% of trades in crypto are indeed that. They are trades, right? A lot of movements in crypto are algorithmic driven. We've got a lot of institutional money trading crypto. Now, one of the things that I like about crypto is generally it can be pretty predictable in terms of its movements because it does follow technical analysis pretty solidly. Now, unfortunately, I do not have many support lines drawn between 37,005 and 47.1, and that's because we've really sat well, I mean, I've got plenty of lines drawn when you zoom out like this, but we really haven't hit many levels within this territory. We've frequently had these we've had these little touches here, like 40,008, but then we run past and we quickly run to 47,000. Then we fall back down to under 40,000. 40,000 is this really important threshold. So the fact that right now we're bouncing over here, really good and a good sign for crypto. Now, why is this potentially happening today? I mean, look how perfectly these bounces are off this line right here, our blue line, which I didn't recently draw that blue line. That blue line's been there for a while. And if you watch my videos for a while now, you already know that. But folks, this is very interesting to me to see a run on Jobs Day. And see, here's my thesis for crypto. And it's good. And it's coming earlier than expected, potentially. I don't want to get too excited. But I personally believe and firmly believe that 2022 is going to be excellent for crypto. We're going to get better regulation from the SEC, which is going to be just like what Gary Gensler and his analogy says when cars got legalized and we actually had street lights and stop signs and seatbelt requirements. Cars became safer and became more ubiquitous. We want cryptocurrencies to be ubiquitous because the more like even Bitcoin and Ethereum and more of kind of the centralized cryptocurrencies become mainstream, the more even DeFi could benefit, right? Of course, there are concerns over stablecoins and all that. We're not going to relitigate all the stablecoin FUD right now. It's just not necessary. But something special happened today that I think is very potentially consequential for cryptocurrencies. And the easiest thing for me to do is really just draw out this thesis. So here's the thing. We know that Delta is surging right now. Well, I mean, here, let's put it this way. There we go. We know that the Delta variant is going up. We know this, right? But another thing we know is that spending is starting to slow. Air traffic spending is slowing. You know what? I'll make that more of like a diagonal down because it's not like falling. It's rotating to the downside. We also already know that restaurant spending is also trending down. And this is possibly because of Delta, but we don't know. I mean, that's just statistically what's happening right now is restaurants, this kind of spending is rotating to the downside. It's softening. At the same time, Delta is going up. Okay, fine. We know that. So now, what does this possibly have to do with crypto? Well, my thoughts, okay? If Delta surges and leads to a slowing of spending, well, what happens when spending slows? Let's write that down. When spend, we'll write it like that because it looks funny. When spend slows, then what happens? Well, you actually generally get downward price pressure, right? So if this is price pressure, you get downward price pressure. Downward price pressure reduces inflation concerns, but only temporarily while you're in this potential hole of Delta. What happens at the same time as you get a potential hole of Delta where people are like hoarding their money, maybe they're spending less? What happens at the same time? Well, you're going to see supply and component and freight and job shortages. All of these shortages, these are going to get worse. So at the same time as you temporarily see potentially prices come down, which is slightly deflationary, you see all these shortages get worse via Delta. Okay, now what happens after Delta? After Delta, you're left with the bag of crap. People go back to spending though. So price pressure goes up again. Now you get price pressures going up again. You get now even worse shortages compounding prices going up even more, you potentially lead to a greater inflationary time, combined with the fact that jobs data that came out this morning indicated a much hotter than expected figure. We came in at 943,000 jobs this morning. A lot of jobs is a hot number. The Federal Reserve gave us two numbers, well, one set of guidance. They said we have the next two jobs reports to look forward to as to whether or not we are going to taper fast or slow, and when we're going to taper and when we're going to raise rates. Tapering is something that is seen as potentially trying to control inflation, which is potentially a reason for people to invest in cryptos, right? Jobs number one coming at 943. That to me is a big old check mark. Now we're just sitting around waiting for what's going to happen the first week of September, which is also when the unemployment boost expires. And we want to see if that August number comes in really big, like we get a number like, let's say 1 million jobs or something like that. The Fed's going to turn around and go, yep, conditions met. Let's start fighting inflationary concerns. So part of this sudden run that we're seeing here, in fact, let's go out to the 5-minute chart. You can really see this explosiveness here. We went up to 43,215. We did just bounce off of that. We're slowing down a little bit. This could be, with these volume bars right here, this could be, whale style trading, right? Where it's like, that's it. Let's start positioning for these potential changes in the market and the environment, which could lead to more of a flight to crypto assets. Which, again, considering the fact that we think 2022 is going to be very good for crypto, might be prudent. Will there be another drop to 29? Who knows? I think a lot's going to depend on what happens here with inflationary concerns in Delta, and that's why we just talked about that. But anyway, as usual, when crypto spikes, we see when Bitcoin spikes, that is, we see a spike in other coins as well. Now, Ethereum, we know, partially started running because of the fork and the update that we had yesterday. Now, personally, I mean, from my observation, it didn't seem like the fork itself led to a lot of changes in the price action. It almost kind of felt like a lot of that was maybe already priced in, the fact that the fork was coming. So I haven't seen a lot of sort of a shift in Ethereum pricing there. This seems to be a lot more of let's follow Bitcoin up, because we're really following that Bitcoin chart right now. And I think the same is going to be true for ADA here. Let's go to ADA and Doge for a moment. Yeah, look at that. ADA sitting at 142, running really nicely here. Last time I bought this thing was like at $1.04. And remember, I made this video, write down this crypto date or whatever, and it was July 18th. It was the lockup, the final day of the biggest lockups coming for crypto. And Bitcoin prices fell to like 29K, the 19th and 20th. ADA plummeted to like $1.04. I send out an alert to everyone in Stocks and Psychology of Money, which also includes crypto. Maybe I should change the name to Stocks, Crypto, and the Psychology of Money. But anyway, sent out an alert. I'm like, I'm buying a Cardano because these are some good prices. And yeah, so I mean, it's no surprise that now we have a rebound after that lockup is done. Now, I'm still not mega heavy on crypto, but I've certainly loaded up on crypto within the last few weeks. It's something where I still wonder, like, could we ever see Bitcoin like 19K again? Because we've got a big fat support line there. And so far, every time we go to the downside, we cannot break past 29K. And if we break past 29K, it's for very, very short periods of time. So there's a lot of institutional support keeping Bitcoin propped up, which quite frankly makes sense. I mean, think about it. If crypto ever fell substantially, Square loses money, via Cash App. You've got Visa loses money, MasterCard loses money, massive institutions and banks lose money. JP Morgan, which has a JP Morgan coin, which is built on top of the Ethereum network, they lose money. I mean, JP Morgan just, I think it was this morning or yesterday, they were running headlines on the news saying JP Morgan pitches Bitcoin to high net worth clients. And it's like mind blown, because now you literally have wealth advisors trying to pitch cryptocurrencies to probably people who are, my guess, and I think I'm right, 50 plus. Could you imagine? Hey, this is Dennis with JP Morgan calling about your investment account with us, and I wanted to introduce you to a really good new investment opportunity. Bitcoin. Like how many of the rich people getting that phone call from JP Morgan are like fall out of their chair? Like how do they even start that conversation? But the point is those conversations are starting to happen, which is really, really good. It's really, really good for the crypto space. So I personally think it's a wonderful thing. I really am enthusiastic about maybe not necessarily. I'm not going to say any names. I'm very optimistic about blockchain for government and so where blockchain technology can be transparent to root out fraud, but private enough to maintain individuals' privacy, fast enough to transmit money quickly, which we know it can do, and in such a way that we don't burn a lot of energy, or maybe we save energy compared to or transaction costs. I think blockchain has some really cool opportunities for getting rent relief money out the door, getting unemployment payments out the door. Why are we still mailing people checks for their unemployment or stimulus payments, right? Now I know a lot is direct deposits now, but direct deposit, but still like getting that stuff set up, there's a reason only like, gosh, I don't know, something like, well, I think it's $3 billion of the $46 billion of rent relief money has gone out over 7 months. That's paltry. In an emergency, that's horrible. So I think blockchain has some pretty incredible opportunities there for the future. And the more that gets adopted, I mean, the more I'm very excited about just crypto assets in general. Now, some people ask me, they say, Kevin, well, aren't you worried about Miami going? Well, I think that I know the mayor of Miami is like super bullish on crypto, and I think it's great. We like tweet DM'd, exchanged like thumbs up ones. I think it's super cool. I'm a big fan. I will tell you that if I become governor in California, I will be running billboards in Miami because he's running billboards in San Francisco. So we're gonna have a little billboard competition, but we'll save that for the future. But look, I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. I think Florida is doing some things that are paving the way to the future, right? I mean, like Fort Lauderdale is doing the Elon Musk boring tunnels, and their water table is like 2 feet down, right? But anyway, so yeah, I mean, the crypto in Miami, I think it's great. I think it was on point too that they had the crypto convention over there. But I mean, it's no surprise here. Look at Hut 8 mining. Golly, look at this. This is so good. I mean, at 590 now, just moving straight up with the price here of crypto. Oh, you've actually got Robinhood back up to about 10%, moving up a little bit here, which is interesting because it had just been falling. It went down to like about 3% or whatever, up $53 over here, whatever. I wonder how Dogecoin is doing. Remember, this is actually an interesting correlation I didn't even think about. How is Doge still stuck at 20 cents? What is this? Yeah, that's interesting. Doge is just not participating as much in this recovery. But, folks, cryptocurrency transactions. Let's go ahead and pull up the Robinhood IPO. And I know many of us don't like Robinhood. I get it. But I'm also not going to be blind to this. Robinhood IPO. Okay, let me pull this up because take a look at this. So, Robinhood IPO docs here. We want to know, there's one particular sheet, I believe I had favorited, that talks about how much of their revenues come from crypto. I think it was 17%. 34% of our, 34% was Dogecoin. Right, so 17% of our total revenue, look at that. 17% of our total revenue was derived from transaction-based revenues earned from cryptocurrencies. And then a third of that was Dogecoin. But can you get ADA yet? I don't know. Can somebody maybe in the comments let me know? Can you get ADA yet on Robinhood? But anyway, and I'm not suggesting you go buy crypto on Robinhood. I'm more just drawing this parallel that maybe if crypto starts running, it makes you wonder if that could potentially be a catalyst for Hood, just because of the crypto mining, especially since they just started running at a similar time frame as crypto started running. Hut 8, we gotta get them back on the channel. I love them. So Doge never dies. Doge up 15% tomorrow. Yeah, coin should be moving today as well. You're right. Coinbase is just like honestly, no offense to grandpas, but I feel like Coinbase is like the grandpa of the crypto market. I mean, I hate to say it, but like, why is crypto up 6%? Why are the miners up 9 to 10%? And Coinbase is up 2%? Like, come on, man. That doesn't make much sense. Maybe it does, though. Maybe it's, I don't know. Anyway, we've obviously seen a little bit of a cooling here since I started live streaming. Sometimes this, by the way, is a classic indication that you did have whale money come in. And by whale money, we generally mean like larger institutions, funds, whatever. You had some kind of whale money come in at multiple different purchase opportunities here. Once that purchasing volume washed away, the amount of buyers was lower than the amount of sellers, obviously, we have at some of these prices. And so that's why you see this sort of slow bleed in prices. That's pretty typical. It's pretty typical to see it run up and then a little bit of a softening. And so if there's another whale buy that comes in because maybe this thing drops to 42 again or whatever, we could see this pop right back up. So I do think that the jobs report today was a perfect catalyst for crypto. We thoroughly explained that. I'm not going to go through it again, but yeah, because here it is. Right. We talked about that by breaking down some of this commentary. Delta Restaurants Air, we talked about this. We talked about price effects when spending slows and the shortage problem. But then we also talked about the 2 sets of job status. So if you want to recap on that, obviously scroll back and watch that. Okay, let's go briefly back here just to look at the chart again here. Again, a little softening still happening. We're about to hit the, well, this is on the 1 day. Okay, so that doesn't matter so much. Let's go over here. I was going to say moving average 50, but we were on the 1 day chart, so it doesn't matter so much. But anyway, we have a good move here. Still obviously up very nicely. The Ethereum actually pulling back a little bit more, only up 3.6 right now. But these are things to watch. So the more, let me give you sort of a Kevin bottom line here. The more we go into this potential Delta variant and we start considering like when a recovery stock's going to hit bottom, which they're not really right now, but I still think the big pain is coming, then the more I'm going to be looking for those crypto dips to maybe buy a little heavier, because if we do get Delta style shutdowns and we do get more of a drag on supply issues, remember it's not just chips, it's chips, components, freight, and jobs. 4 sources of shortages, big problems. All of those things I think are going to help promote cryptocurrency and as a potential inflation hedge. We do also see that 10-year treasury yields are now at 1.295%. So they bumped another, was that about 15 basis points there. So things to pay attention to. Anyway, all right, this is my crypto update. Why crypto skyrocketing? Some of my thoughts on what else is going on. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much for being here. I wish you the best in your investing. If you like my kind of psychology, make sure to check out my amazing programs linked below. There's one on real estate investing, stock investing, making YouTube videos, real estate agents. Use the 40% off coupon code linked down below. And make sure you participate in the Meet Kevin Challenge. Download the Meet Kevin app in the Apple or Android App Store. And if you go to the challenge button on the right and you share my content up to 5 times a day, you're going to be entered into the contest to go on a private jet with me to Vegas for a weekend. It's going to be a blast. All right, folks, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time.